So I had this crazy opportunity come up last week at the last second. I have a friend, Robert Craighead, who is an actor down in Hollywood, getting ready to work on a really special film project, co-starring with Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace of E.T. fame. And I asked him if he would be willing to let me interview him for my blog. And he wrote me back and he said, sure, I'd love to. He was so gracious and sweet, and I got all excited. And then the next day he wrote me and he said, I'm going to ask Dee if she'll join us. I'm like, okay. So I got to interview two movie stars. Nutty, crazy, all right, this is happening. So anyways, I got to chat with them on Friday via Skype about their film project, and the video quality isn't great, but the interview itself is fun, so enjoy. So I'd like to introduce to you my good friend Robert Craighead, who is a fantastic actor and a fellow alumnus of my alma mater, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. He has had, yay! He has had a steadfast career in film and television, which has spanned several decades. His work is intense and honest and a little bit creepy sometimes, but you're always entertaining and fun. Robert has played many television guest star and co-starring roles in shows such as Cagney and Lacey, Picket Fences, NCIS, Castle. Yay! I'm a Nathan Fillion fan. And he is most notably recognized as Lieutenant Frank Conran on the daytime series The Bold and the Beautiful, and more recently returning as Judge Wayne on The Young and the Restless. Robert has appeared in numerous cult classic films such as The Return of the Living Dead, Cujo, and also The Bear, starring Gary Busey. So welcome, Robert. Happy to have you here. I'm so happy that you agreed to do this with me.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And of course, most of you have already recognized the stunning lady sitting next to Robert, the lovely and magnificently talented Dee Wallace.
Hi, Kat.
Hey, Dee. How are you doing?
Fabulous.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your super crazy schedule to hang out with us for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I had a cohort here, you know.
I don't want you to be held hostage, but thank you.
Look, baby, in my life, I don't do anything that I don't give myself permission to do. So
I'm learning that about you.
I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, thanks. Well, we all know you as, of course, a highly accomplished actress, although in the opinion of many, very under-acclaimed. And I find now that you are also, which I didn't know before, a highly regarded acting teacher and mentor, an author of 3 books, a spiritual healer, and a sought-after speaker and lecturer on the art of self-healing. These are things I did not know about you, and I'm so excited to learn these things.
I multitask a lot in my life.
You do. You got lots of hats, girl. And of course, if that resume isn't long enough for you, she has a list of film and television credits that run the length of my entire body. Her television credits would take me a half hour to go through. Her more than 100 films include roles in The Hills Have Eyes, The Howling, The Secret Admirer, The Frighteners, 10, the one about the terrible, scary doggy.
Cujo.
I was thinking Lassie.
Oh, Lassie. Both.
Yeah,
I've worked with kids and dogs all my life.
Yeah, you have.
And a little film called E.T.
Yeah, I was going to say, am I forgetting anything? No, I mean, that's so obvious, of course. E.T. Welcome, Dee. Thank you so much, you guys. I am thrilled to have you here. I am so thrilled, but I will try to contain myself. So what we're here to talk about today is an exciting film project that you guys are going to be working on together called Flowers in December. Now, what I understand about Flowers in December, I know about this much, so I'm hoping that you guys will give us some more juicy details if you can. But that it's a gritty love story. It is going to be told in the sort of the style of the great blue-collar films of the 70s, like Tender Mercies and Urban Cowboy, 5 Easy Pieces. JT mentioned The Wrestler. So JT wrote the role for you specifically because you've played the quintessential mom forever, and he wanted to see you be able to sink your teeth into something gritty and juicy. And so I wonder how much of a stretch you really feel like that is. I mean, is it really a stretch?
Well, it most definitely is the antithesis of most of the roles I've played. in my life, unless you look at the Frighteners, but that's an entirely different character. This woman is driven and gritty and lower than blue collar, and has tats all over, and she smokes like a chimney, and she's with this great guy who wants to take care of her, but she is literally consumed by her husband who's in prison, and with that love and that connection that just kind of supersedes everything in our lives if we're stupid enough to let it. It's her high, it's her drug, this relationship.
Yeah, it's one of those relationships that you shouldn't, get involved in, but you just can't help yourself because you're so attracted. Animalistic
yeah.
attraction.
It's a stretch as far as what people have seen me do. Anybody that's studied with me has definitely seen that side.
I have.
I can be pretty damn tough when I want to be, and certainly have experienced animalistic relationships, and that. Oh, I don't even know how to explain it in words. It's like a magnet that you should extricate yourself from, but the connection is just too strong. I'm really excited about bringing this to life. It's such a complete story in a short, don't you think?
Right.
Yeah, it goes from here all the way over to there in a short film.
Can you clarify for me, Robert? Are you playing the?
I'm playing the
magnet,
the animalistic lover that she can't stay away from. The fatal attraction, I guess.
You've spent your career playing the cops and the psychos and all of that sort of thing. So how does this role fit into that?
Well, I'd say it probably just falls right in line because everybody has their dark side, but I kind of like to think that when I'm bad, I'm at my best.
Oh, it's such a guy thing, isn't it?
Yeah, they got to explore that, I guess, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, whenever I was growing up as a kid, it was like I always liked the character actors in the film. I always liked the bad guys. Whenever I was playing cops and robbers, with the neighborhood kids, I always wanted to be the robber. I wanted to be the bad guy. So I think it just.
And he's such a good guy at heart.
I know, that's what I kept thinking. It's so many bad guys and creepy guys or whatever, and he's the sweetest guy on the planet.
Well, I guess it's the juxtaposition of what you want to do.
You have to know
life.
both.
Yeah.
You have to know both so you can choose all the shades in between.
But I did play a grandpa just last week. So.
In what? Joining my ranks now.
Capital One commercial.
Oh, that's right.
I played a grandpa.
That's awesome.
I was like, I get the breakdown from my agent, and I'm reading it to my wife, and I said, Grandpa, the twinkle in his eye, the all-knowing look, the kind of grandpa that everyone wishes they had. And I'm like, that's not me.
Oh, that's so you.
I would think the breakdown for you would be hot grandpa. Hot, a little bit dangerous
okay, I forgot
grandpa.
that.
Yeah.
Hot grandpa.
Twinkle in his eye, though, that's you all over.
So, Dee, in your interview with JT, he asked you the question, if you could take away one thing from working on this project, what would it be? And your answer to him was freedom. He said, freedom in my acting, to love my acting again. Would you be willing to expound on that a little bit?
Yeah, when I starred in all my films, I had a lot of freedom. I had a lot of say. I went, no, I don't think I'd do that. Or, this scene isn't working. And there's joy in that freedom for me. Then I started into a place in my career where I started doing a lot of television. And television in the 80s you still had a lot of say. You had a lot of power over your character and how the scenes were played out. And then we moved into the area in our business where a lot of the writers and very awesome, incredible writers became the executive producers. And a lot of times they forget then that it's a collaborative effort. That when the director brings his best ideas and the writing brings their best, and then the actors bring their best and insights, when all of that comes together, that's what makes a really exciting, for me, production. So I'm looking forward to this, first of all, because I know I can work with JT. I certainly know I can work with Robert, so that we're all going, it worked on paper, but this moment doesn't work here, or that shot, I've got to change my creative idea to get that. I wouldn't sit that way for that shot, So yeah, I'm looking forward. Grimm actually really did a lot for me. Grimm is a beautiful set with just amazing writers and actors, and you're really given that freedom within certain confines, of course, but you're given the freedom to really bring in ideas and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to just really going balls out and not having to monitor myself. I'm also working with my daughter, Gabrielle. She'll probably be the toughest one to work on. No, we've worked together before, and it's interesting. We trust each other to give each other really, positive feedback.
I guess it was inevitable for her to end up in the industry as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, she was either going to be a dancer or an actress.
She's a wonderful dancer.
And a wonderful actress. She's really got the chops. She wouldn't be in this if she was just my daughter, I guarantee you, because I'm not going to F over my project just for my kid.
But you're playing mother-daughter, so
we are playing mother-daughter, but we're not playing the mother-daughter that we are.
Not that you are, but it's still the mother-daughter relationship.
Yeah, I'm just going to go in without putting any kind of blinders, or I'm not going to pull myself back in any way.
It's a very gritty film, and it's kind of we're kind of like, I guess, Bonnie and Clyde if they had lived to be, in their 50s, and the relationship that they would have, and so.
And they didn't have censors.
Yes, there will be definitely a lot of heat on the set.
Yeah. I was going to ask you how you guys met. That's what it was. I originally thought you guys did Cujo together, but then I found out you did.
Oh, back further than that. My late husband, Christopher Stone, whom I did a lot of work with, and he's Gabrielle's dad. He and I produced this original musical called The Meritage, and Robert had one of the starring roles in it.
I just finished at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, and I just completed the rep company after 3 years there, and one of the directors there had recommended me to the writer of this production, Bruce Cameron.
Bruce Cameron, who's a good friend of all of ours.
Yeah, exactly. And Dee choreographed the whole thing. It was a fantastic production.
Yeah, it really was.
We ran for like 6 months, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 months in Beverly Hills, yeah.
He was Columbus.
Yes, and I did Columbus kind of like Johnny Cash.
Do you remember any of that?
Well, I pulled out of Pecos early one day, had 3 ships, and I didn't even pay the fleet rate because Isabella picked up the tab. And from that, actually, I went up to do Cujo with Chris and Dee.
I got him a read for Cujo.
Yeah. I missed closing night of that show because I was up there with Cujo.
Oh, see,
yeah.
I didn't remember all those.
Oh, I remember everything.
You just remember how much you owe me then.
Actually, I owe Dee for me even coming back into the business after being gone for 12 years. I had a heart attack, and I called Dee up and was talking to her about it, and she said, it's called heart disease, and your heart is at dis-ease. You're missing the passion in your life. And I got to thinking about it, and I said,
damn,
you're right.
she was right.
So I started acting again, and I have never been happier. It's just...
And more successful. Oh my God, he works more than we do.
And I am so excited and thrilled to be working with one of my mentors and dearest friends. And, yeah.
You've had this long, successful career, and you're still like amazingly vibrant and gorgeous and full of life and passion. And I just want to know, what's your secret?
I think my secret is my healing work, and I just really like me, and I teach people how to really like themselves and love themselves and know how magnificent they are, and go out and do bloody everything that makes you happy.
It's an amazing thing to wake up in the morning and just be jazzed about what you get to go get up and do that day.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And when you're happy doing it,
yeah,
then good things come to you.
Yeah.
We're trying to raise the final funds for this film on Indiegogo through crowdfunding, and we're asking for contributions from anyone and everyone. If you ever
get a credit, right?
Yeah, well, especially you can even be an executive producer. You can be a Hollywood producer if you want.
The Indiegogo campaign is awesome because it gives so many different ways that people can give.
Participate.
Yeah, it's really neat, and there's tons of perks available depending on your level of giving you choose. But there's things like digital copies of the film, signed DVDs. I get one of those. Cast photos, thank you credits, producer credits, and of course the role with Dee. But the important thing is that this is the final week. I mean, this is the final countdown. Yeah. And so now's the time. I mean, just quit thinking about it and get over there, look at the pictures, watch the interviews. There's a really sweet interview with Dee there, and we get to listen to JT and Chris, the producer directors, talk about their vision for the project. And it's just, there's such a neat feel when you go over there to the idea that you can jump on board and be a part of funding something that's worthwhile and beautiful and creative and not being controlled by the machine. And to me, there's something so amazing about seeing how these independent films get thrown together and they get momentum underneath them, and they get to go blossom and be what they are. So get to Indiegogo.com and hit that donate button.
Donations are accepted, $10 to however much you want to contribute.
Dee, did you know the price tag for being on screen with you?
No.
$5,000, honey. $5,000.
You're worth it, baby.
Wow. I wonder if it's a nude scene.
for you or for the donator.
No, okay.
Now I want to have.
Yeah, cough up the $5,000.
Thrilled and honored that you would take this time to talk with me about it. It's sweet, really sweet.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, enjoyed being here.
Best of luck to you too.
Yeah. You too. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.